The day's finally here, Dolphins fans. Christmas has come early because Chris Grier has been fired, and we're about to talk all about it. All right, welcome to the special edition breaking news episode of the 305 Gridiron. We, of course, are here because there's been breaking news. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Our GM, Chris Grier, has been fired finally after 25 years with the organization, 9 of them as the general manager. He's gone through 3 head coaches. He has mutually agreed to part ways
Way to save face.
The Miami Dolphins, which means that he has been fired. Fantastic.
Yes.
Super excited about it. We're 2-7. And this is the second year in a row that we started off with such a horrific record. Mm-hmm. I think we've been asking for this for a while, but I'll be honest, Josh, if you would, and I think you did have asked me in the past, like, who was least likely to go? Like, if one person actually was to stay, who would your best guess would be? And mine has regularly been Chris Grier because of his relationship with Stephen Ross. Mm-hmm. So this is a humongous surprise to me, and in a happy way.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, seemingly Chris Grier's tenure with Miami has been solidified with having dirt on Ross, the owner, because I don't understand how somebody can be so bad at their job for so long and still have a job. Mm-hmm. And I think this was a statement of statements for Ross, right? Because of the fact that it is seemingly well known, in air quotes, at least interpreted by us fans, that they have a very good relationship. And if anyone was going to go, we all, us and in our group chat and other Dolphins fans that I know, all kind of assumed he would be the last to go, like you just said. And the fact that he's the first to go, I think, is a true time for accountability. Enough's enough. We need to steer the ship into another direction. I am not happy as on a human level that somebody lost their job. But that is the business. When you're bad at your job, you need to find something new. Hopefully he lands on his feet, but it won't be in Miami, and that's all that matters.
Sure. So let's do a little housekeeping. What led to this, right? We lost 28-6 to the Baltimore Ravens in prime time. A team that we actually put a good show against in the first half, and then in the second half, nobody showed up. Nobody on an entire team was there. Not Tua, not the coaching staff, nobody. It was just a horrific, and we'll have our reactions to that on Monday. But
yeah,
it was so bad that Ross had to make a move. That's the bottom line, right? I mean, the 34-10 shellacking of the Kirk Cousins-led Falcons couldn't save him. So for now, Champ Kelly is the interim GM.
Yep.
According to Adam Schefter, Mike McDaniel is expected to stick around for the remainder of the season. But I have to imagine if you continue to put out a product on the field that looks as bad as it did last night, that there could be a change there as well.
Yeah, my guess is if we continue to lose, and I don't know the answer to this because I was so excited I forgot to look. I don't know when is our bye. We're not
week
into
12.
Week 12. Mm-hmm. I think if we continue on the track that we're on, I think week 12 during that bye, I think another decision will be made. Whatever that decision is, Weaver, McDaniel, combination thereof. Two will be getting benched. I mean, who the hell knows? But.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a tough schedule leading up to that point. Mm-hmm. So we'll see if we do win another game.
I'm not feeling overly confident. I'll tell you that much.
It's only 2 left. We're 2-7. That's 9 weeks. So there's 2 games left before the bye week in week 12. Let's welcome guys into the chat. I know that we don't normally do this, but you guys are here with us in the middle of a day on a Friday. So
yeah, none of us work.
Finspin the Mad Greek. Balakai, welcome into the show. Hey. And True Blazers here as well. This is a Halloween treat for sure. Absolutely. Happy Halloween, everybody. Thank you guys for popping in. And Finspin found a way to put the Mad Greek back in his name. Thank you so much, dude. I love
back
it.
To normal. All is right in the world. Chris Grier is gone. It says the Mad Greek. We're good.
So let's talk about what happens next, man, because there's a lot of stuff. Yeah. There's only a few days for interim GM Champ Kelly to get things done before the trade deadline, which I believe is what, the second? The third? Fourth. Sorry.
Yeah, fourth.
One of those days. So November 4th is the trade deadline. Champ Kelly has a lot of work to do. Mm-hmm. This is typically, if you're in a seller's market, during the trade deadline. What that means is you're getting rid of guys who you don't plan on signing beyond this year, right?
Yeah.
We're 2-7. I think we are perfectly primed to be considered a seller during this time. So who are you hearing, Josh? I know you like to watch the Twitter sphere and all that stuff. Who are you hearing could be on the move?
Yeah, names that we hear regularly throughout social media and national media. People like Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, Judon are kind of bigger known commodities with contracts that are tradable in a lot of ways. Jalen Phillips is still, I think he's on a fifth year, so that's very reasonable for a player that's got all the tools that can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
Bradley Chubb restructured his contract in the offseason so he could stay with the team. He is very tradable, very, very tradable, and he is probably our best defensive edge player on the team. And Judon just came in the offseason, but he is a known commodity for a contending team. I would assume Judon is going to be, we'll throw you a seventh or a sixth for him, and we jump on that all day. I think from Kelly's standpoint, right? You're coming in after Grier's gone. You're coming in as the GM. What are your kind of near priorities? Your near term. What are you doing immediately? You're assessing the team. You're looking at ways to. You're assessing it with the folks in the building to identify your foundational pieces. You're fielding calls on veterans in the market because to your point, I don't think we're going to be buyers. I think we're going to be big sellers.
Better not.
I mean, unless there's like a good young cornerback where, in a trade, like we're getting rid of a player, but we're bringing in a younger quarterback or cornerback to develop something like that, I'd be okay with. So you're fielding calls as Kelly's, you're identifying your foundational pieces and you're protecting the core. You identified who you want to build around, and those players are off limits, irregardless of what we think. And then right now, from Ross's standpoint, from a team standpoint, you and I have said this a billion times on the show. We have to make this team attractive for the next regime, whether that be a new GM and head coach and defensive coach, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So stacking draft capital is going to be paramount in these next 5 days.
Yeah, I mean the list of people we have that other people might be interested in is pretty short. That's why Grier's been fired, right? There's not a lot of talent that other people are right. That's why there's not a lot of talent other people are interested in. Some names other than the ones you shot out. Our two backup linebackers are on 1-year deals, so those are potential trade options with KJ Britt and Willie Gay Jr. Zach Wilson could garner some attention from a QB needy team. He's on a 1-year deal as well. The two new safeties, Melifonwu and Ashton Davis, are both on 1-year deals. So, like a lot of the guys we just brought in are probably some of the names you may see moved.
Yeah, where I'm not a fan of letting Minka go in any capacity because I do think he's a foundational player still in his career.
Yeah,
at the very least, a very high productive transitional player for drafting him. But I mean, if somebody calls and gives you a nice offer for him, you have to consider it, don't you?
Yeah, and I think I see the reason, like, why so many people. I'm sure Dolphins fans are probably screaming, "What about Achane?" Like, I know why Achane's on that list, right? He's going into his 5th-year option or whatever it is for him. No, he wasn't a first-round pick, so he's a very small dead cap hit if he gets traded. He's only 24 years old. He's clearly our best player, so yes, he is a tradable chip. But why would you? I don't understand that.
That's one of those foundational pieces you don't let go. In any way, shape, or form. Unless you get like a Laramie Tunsil from a running back standpoint, a Laramie Tunsil-esque type deal for a player of his caliber, which you won't. I mean, I'm not saying he's deserving of that, but if somebody were to call and say, "Hey, we'll give you 2 first-round picks and a late round pick swap," I mean, you kind of have to at least consider it.
It's an interesting time because I think the evaluations are usually up to the GM, like who they value most. But this is an interim GM. I think the evaluations are going to be to Stephen Ross. Like, who does Stephen Ross like most? Because like if Kelly comes in and he's our de facto GM, he may think very differently about even our recent draft picks and think to himself, well, I'm just going to get rid of some of these guys, right? Like maybe he doesn't like Savonai, or maybe he doesn't like maybe he doesn't like Kenneth Grant or Jordan Phillips, and we've seen that in the past is for our team. Where the next regime comes in and moves guys who were just drafted. We just actually saw that with the Patriots. They just unloaded 2 draft picks from 2 years ago. So
I will say this: Kelly was specifically sought after and hired by Ross. at least per reports.
Yeah.
So I think there is built-in trust there. I'm not saying that it's going to be sustained as in he is our new GM going forward, but he's at least the GM now. And I think those two will have quite a lot of conversations to set this team up in hopefully the best situation going forward.
Yeah, Greg Sosa, welcome back to the show, man. This is a good question, but I think for an interim GM to make that call, I think he'll probably leave it up to the coaches for now.
Yeah. Yeah, and there have been some reports, albeit very loose reports, that Las Vegas has had some interest in potentially, looking at Tua and absorbing a whole contract and whatnot. But
I mean, that's exactly what we would need. We would need somebody else to absorb the contract, because for us to move him would be virtually impossible without somebody else taking the money hit. Keno, welcome to the show for the first time. Don't forget Tua and the head coach. We don't forget.
Don't you worry.
Hopefully Stephen Ross doesn't forget.
Yeah. There's four people on this team that I need gone, one of which is already gone. I need McDaniels out the door, I need Weaver out the door, and I need Tua on the bench or gone.
I mean, the only reason for this is that Quinn Ewers isn't very good. I don't know what you're getting out of playing him. I mean, it's a 7th round pick. I don't know why people are so enamored with Quinn Ewers.
No, I think Ewers is very much the I always forget his name now that he's not on the team. Who was the quarterback that was with us for so many years? That was a 7th round pick that he's on.
Oh, Skylar Thompson.
Skylar Thompson.
Yeah.
He's the Skylar Thompson this year. Oh,
yeah.
It's a name. It's not Tua.
This is the rumor for sure, Greg, is that we would have to eat we wouldn't have to eat the contract, but like if somebody else were to take him on, we would have to pay them to take him on. Like we'd have to pay them in draft capital,
which is normal. That's typical. You get all of that cap back onto your books, or cap space rather back onto your books, and you're getting nothing in return. You're probably sending something like 2 1/3 for a 5th, but you're getting $53-ish million over the next 3 or 4 years off your cap space to go in a new direction.
It's normal in that it's been done before, but I don't know if there's much precedent. It hasn't been done that much. Osweiler is really the only one I could think of.
Well, from a quarterback standpoint, yes, but players in general, that happens quite often.
This is funny. Ross is probably whispering to Chris Grier, "Hey, who should I get to replace you?" That's funny. Speaking of replacements, that's the last thing we should touch on before we get going here. Who is on the short list of replacements?
Yeah, so these are super early. So for those of you in the chat or watching later, understand we've been looking at these for a little bit, but we haven't done any deep dives. Anthony and I kind of went into this looking at names in air quotes for GMs or people from teams that have a sustained success, like a proven track record. And 4 names kind of came to us while we were doing our preliminary researches. You have Terrence Gray, who's the Bills assistant GM, longtime Bean lieutenant. He was promoted in May. He's got a great track record with, putting his 2 cents into quite a lot of draft pieces that were taken. He's good at evaluating talent, at least per reports. Next one is Ray Agnew, the Lions assistant GM, key hand in Detroit's turnaround over Brad Holmes. I love what Detroit is doing. I've loved what they've done since they hired Dan Campbell. I would love to get a piece of that action. You know what I mean? So Ray Agnew's another name. Chad Alexander is the Chargers assistant GM, 25 plus years in scouting and roster work. He's gone through a few cycles of GM interviews and didn't stick or didn't get hired, I guess. The only thing I consider concerns me about him is I'm kind of jaded because Grier was a scout before he was a GM, and this guy is a scout before he's a GM. So, but still, I like what the Chargers are doing. And then last but not least, Alec Halaby, I think is how you pronounce his name. He's the Eagles assistant GM, analytics driven, very analytics focused. He's kind of like, the Oakland A's back in the day that assessed their roster with analytics and spreadsheets and math. He's very much that way. He's a strategist. And I think, that would add a cool dynamic that we haven't had with Chris Grier. But, we'll do some shows specifically around GM replacements and then hopefully head coach replacements when we get a little bit closer.
Yeah, I'm a little on the fence with the strategist approach, but I'm open to anything. I mean, we've had Chris Grier for so long, I don't even remember what our previous approaches were, to be honest. Like it's been years of torture. Back to the chat, we'll talk about what's next and then we'll wrap it up. So Keno's not a fan of Thompson or Tua.
No.
I don't think. I don't.
Do you blame him?
Yeah. Yeah, Greg, I don't know. I mean, I think you have to put him out there, right? I mean, get the next staff, the first overall pick might be a nice cherry on top. keep putting Tua out there unless it's an injury thing you're worried about, and then we have to keep paying him because he's injured for X number of years.
I mean, well, shit, that's a good point. I never thought.
I mean, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's well, no, it's not. It's not. But Rasul's been good.
Yeah, he has been good.
Was he really? I didn't know this, but
of course he was.
Do we want to see fans boo Tua? I mean, they're gonna boo him out. They're not gonna show up anymore. This is Miami. There's plenty of shit to do. There's gonna be lots of cheers. It'll just be for the opposing team.
These guys.
Yeah.
Right there. Inter Miami FC. That's the game to go to.
Watching last night's game, part of it felt like a Ravens home game at times. It was unbelievable.
Not lying. Yeah, they did a section of the crowd, and it was just a sea of purple, and it was yeah. At this point, I don't think fans are booing specific players. I think they're just booing the organization.
The funniest line was when Al Michaels was like, usually if you leave the game this early, there's no traffic, but these guys are going to be driving into the traffic because everybody was leaving. It was like the second drive of the third quarter, but we've seen enough to know when the team has given up, and that by the third quarter the team gave up.
I mean, I left. When did I stop? When did I text you I was going to?
You were not even mid third quarter, I think.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm over it.
All right, what to watch next out. Of course, we talked about hey, will there be a head coaching change? Look out for that in week 12. We have 2 more games, and then we have our bye. So if there's going to be a coaching change, there's a nice point right there to potentially see one. So look out for week 12. Champ Kelly is the interim GM. So what is he going to do? We will know more based on his press conference, right? So Josh has a really good point in here. Look out for the words retool versus reset. Right? If he's planning on retooling, then he's looking to make minor tweaks to the roster. If he's looking to reset, he's going all full sail. Right? So that will be November 4th at 4 p.m. Is that the?
That's what it's being reported. It changes kind of regularly. So
that's the trade deadline. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I knew that.
And then look out for the first move under Kelly. What will the first move be? He's just taken over in the past hour. So what's he going to be up to here? I'm excited to see what he does. I'm excited to see how much power he gets to make moves to this roster.
Yeah, is he more of a figurehead, or is he somebody that's actually going to start wheeling and dealing? My assumption is there have to have been conversations between him and Ross, kind of behind the scenes, with hey, you might want to start prepping just in case, start getting your ducks in a row, because if we continue on the route we're going, Grier's going to be the first one. You have to assume, although I mean, who the fuck knows what the way this organization is.
Yeah, I have so much to say about the game. I'm trying to hold back.
Yes, me too.
Have a reaction show to do, but
yes.
But that's it. That's the breaking news today, guys. Let's see. The garbage bag helmets were funny.
They were hilarious.
Yep. Love it. And then this is so true. Watch us come out and beat the Bills, because that's the exact. It's the exact type of circus we're looking at.
Yep.
100%.
And that'd be the game that doesn't get us in the top 5 of the draft.
Yep. It would. Yeah. All right, man. Thanks for jumping on here in the middle of work day here.
Oh, yeah. I got to get back to some meetings.
Yeah. And thank you all for jumping into the chat in the middle of your work days as well.
Incredible.
Dolphins have let go of GM Chris Grier, and now we are on the hunt for another one. Let's see if interim GM Champ Kelly has anything up his sleeve in the meantime. That'll do it for us today. We'll see you guys on Monday with our reaction episode to the Ravens game, which you may have gotten a little piece of here in this one. Yeah. Once again, like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're getting very, very close to that 75 mark by November 11th. Appreciate you guys once again. This has been the 305 Gridiron. I'm Anthony Pinzone. That is Josh, a.k.a. Aqua Ace. Until next time, fins up, baby.